belated episode. I think if we could maybe drag the Dokkan audience into this, because of course they're really excited about it. Just quick thoughts on, oh, this card could be in Dokkan and it would be really cool. Or, we keep referring to Magic, maybe a Magic based super attack. And if you have thoughts on moments that could be there,
Yeah,
it would
okay.
be simple, but it's a little fun, like a bonus clip, if that makes sense.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, in terms of Dokkan and Daima, well, we got the free
Yeah,
to play
so
units. It's so hard to say right now. We're recording this just after I finished watching episode 7, so there's not we're about to get stuck into the first fight against the Tamagami or the Guardian of the Third Dragon Ball. So I feel like maybe we're about to get stuck into the meat of what Dokkan might draw from. I think that it'll be a bit of a classic scene where Glorio first fights Super Saiyan Goku. I think that's going to be a bit of whether that's maybe a draw card. Like I know they use moments like that sometimes for free to play units, so maybe there might be a free to play Goku mini Super Saiyan with the
yeah,
nullification of beam type, or whether they do go like you said a full
exactly
magic
why I
type
wanted to
super.
do this. This is
Yeah,
exactly why.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
would be
that would
my
be really
thought.
dope.
But I think what we're probably going to see more of, and I think this might be really, really fun, is a lot more armed type supers.
Yes.
Now we've got the three Guardians of the Dragon Balls all rocking weapons themselves. Goku's got his power pole. Whether or not they maybe even categorize magic as armed, I'm not sure. I think that's a stretch personally with how I see it currently. But yeah, I think that might open things up a bit in Dokkan. Whether that's a push for them or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, the nullifications and super type classes, I guess you'd call them, is something that I think Daima is really diversifying at least, or providing the potential for, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. So one reason I was like, man, we gotta get our thoughts out in relation to Dokkan is like you said, Goku when he goes Super Saiyan, he nullifies that blast from Glorio. So if he were to, in theory, so we you just touched on it barely right there, where you were saying it's possible Magic would be armed or maybe a special or unique type super attack, which is a category in the game already. I think it would fit under that other type super attack because
The
we
circular
we're
one,
talking about,
it's like a little
I mean, any
circle,
of
isn't
the
it?
like the lightning. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's what is it? Unarmed, armed, and then other. Like yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And key
yeah.
blast. Is it four?
Yes, yes. There's four.
Oh
There's other, armed, unarmed, and beam type or key blast. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it would be a great idea for them to just say, you know what, let's put it in other. We'll get into it later. Don't worry about it. I think it's really cool to see a new type of, like, they're being creative with these magic attacks, right? These magic abilities. Like, yeah, simply lifting a rock off the ground like Pansy did isn't crazy, but Glorio's using lightning strikes. Like he's using
He's also
that
using them in his
weird
punches.
that
So what would
beam. Yeah,
otherwise
he's
be
using
a
them in
like
his. That's a
yeah.
fact. Yeah.
He's not just shooting beams.
Yes.
Like whether or not then you can nullify the beam as well as his punches with magic, a part of them. I'm not sure, but one thing I would like to see Dokken do if they are going to kind of go down the route and add a new super attack type, I'd like to see
Yeah.
them add any type to every super. I don't like that some supers just don't have one. You know what I mean? Like some super
Oh,
attacks
so
just
like it would
can't
be
be nullified.
unarmed and othered. Oh, okay.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I see. I see. I see.
Yeah, no, just every super
Hmm.
attack should have a type, so that there is a chance that they can be nullified by the right character. I think that would be otherwise, I think nullifications are a little bit um, too back pocket almost, and by that
Yeah.
I mean like they're a little bit too niche of a feature for you to look at a character, a unit's kit, and be like, oh, they got a nullification. It's like, yeah, that's nice, but I mean that counts for maybe 10% of the enemies in the game. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
just kind
I
of
get that.
yeah.
I'm interested in the categories units are gonna have. So like demonic
Oh,
power, it was
demonic
released
power
in
is a
Dokkan
big one.
recently. Yeah, so it's we assume that a lot of these Daima characters are going to be on it, at least the Daima enemies, which is clearly, I believe it's true, but it's just, it's odd to know like certain characters, like say a Janemba. I feel like even though it's not Daima bait, like we get why Janemba should have been on there, even if you don't care, you understand the logic behind
Oh
it.
yeah.
Then you look at the Temagami number three that Goku's about to fight as we record this. He he strikes a pose. Like I know it's little things, right? Like oh, that's a reach, but he swings his hammer
Oh,
around. He
he's going
strikes a
special
pose.
pose.
Explosions in the background. Yeah, so special pose would be really simple to put something like him on there. You've got the idea of whatever attacks come off in the future. Those will be, of course, Dokkan super attacks, Goku's transformation animations. These are really they're just even enemies. Like if you want to say, oh, add a story event full of the Gander Marie or a special event like say the Frieza soldiers versus the Bardock event, right? That really
Yeah, yeah,
weird.
yeah.
You got to beat
This
it one a turn type event. You could do that with the police force. Like it's really we have a lot of avenues. We could do this for an hour, but I'm not
well,
gonna hold you much longer.
you speaking of categories, a few I thought of is you would imagine that I guess every I don't know if everyone, but at least Goku and the enemies of Daima so far would all have Seekers of the Dragon Balls. Whether the Guardians
That's
of
a
the
fact.
whether the Guardians of the Dragon Balls have worthy rivals or not. At least the third one, seeing as he's
Oh,
fighting
that.
Goku, that'd
Hmm.
be a sick addition. Um, just trying to think of any other like little niche kind of
Yeah, I
Defenders of
mean, like Daima
Justice.
Goku's will be on. Yeah, I that's what I thought. I was like maybe, but it's weird because like are their intentions considered pure and just? That
Well, I
was
wonder if
exactly what I
Pansy
thought
might
when I
have
thought
Defenders of
special
Justice.
pose.
Pansy
That would be
might,
good.
because she defends, or she rocks up in that
The
mask and
people, yeah.
yeah, defends the people and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I hope they don't. The one thing I really hope that Dokkan does is gets ahead of it. I think one thing Dragon Ball has been pretty poor with lately, and there are exceptions, is their marketing, especially their cross product or what do you call it, cross platform marketing. Like we got two free to play
Okay.
units in Dokkan from Daima.
Yeah, they've really held the ball. They have not dropped, thrown, kicked, punched a ball at all. Like they're not really
No,
full blown on
it's
Daima yet.
it bugs me a
While
little bit
Legends
because
is really into it.
and they did the same thing with Superhero. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
took, I mean, we had the New Year's thing, but that was quite a while after the movie dropped. And I know the movie had, Superhero had problems with like a leak and everything delaying it and all the rest, which I think is a fair enough excuse, but I just think there should be far more being done within the mainline games themselves to almost not have weekly updates with each episode, but just do something that kind of keeps everyone who's playing the game a little bit more aware that the episode is out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, like little promos, even little things like one I wrote this one down is the idea of Hibis just being a support item. Like small thing. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be a
yeah, yeah,
support
yeah.
memory, but a support item would be
Yeah,
really simple,
just a
really
quick
cool.
one.
So
Yep.
yeah, like generate rainbow orbs. Like who
Yeah,
cares? It's
it
just
could.
like
That'd
you're
be a fun
saying,
one
little
actually.
things
Yeah.
each week or two that would make it so that we okay, they're keeping pace with the continuity of the show, which makes us more excited for the future and the more explosive moments in whatever the 20 something episodes we're expecting right now could end up being. That's really dope, man. That's all I've got. I don't have much more to say, but
One
you
more
have any
question.
other Dokkan related thoughts? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was having a break from Dokkan during the period in which Dragon Ball Super was airing live, kind of thing. Like as each episode came out, I wasn't playing Dokkan at the time. Did they? How? What was the distance between like when UI Goku showed up in the anime and when he dropped in Dokkan? Do you
Oof.
remember?
It was instant.
Yeah.
So the
So they
night
should have
UI
they should have
Goku
done
came
that with
out,
Super
they
Saiyan
dropped
Goku
that
last week.
SSR.
They should have done that with Super
Yes, I
Saiyan
thought
Goku
they
last
were.
week. Yeah, even if it
There's
was a free to
something I
play.
think there's something in his super attacks that hasn't been shown yet. That was the only reason I accepted that they probably don't want to use him yet. There might be animations that he's about to use against Tamagami 3 that he's gonna have to save that. Like whatever animation is in there, they just simply haven't revealed in the show
Oh,
yet.
I
So
don't think
I
that
took that
matters.
one and I understood.
I don't think
Okay.
that should
So
matter
you
to.
think they should do it anyway?
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're gonna do, a unit that comes out alongside, or maybe they look honestly. You know, they should be doing. They should be doing a unit next week when he fights Tamagami, even if it's like
Yeah,
a
I think they have.
they
I
should do a
don't see how they
story
do it.
event. They should do a story event,
Something.
and there should be a stage every week that reflects
Each
the
realm
episode
could
that.
easily have its own story event.
Well, that, or I was just going to suggest like a proper like 20 stage. I mean, we're running with the assumption that there's 20 episodes. If there was a 20 stage event which only drops a new level each week, so episode one comes,
Yeah.
you get level one in that event. When episode two drops, you get level two, and maybe if there is a free to play character every week, you know, we might, or even an item, like you say, you got Hybis's item last or this week, maybe you got a free to play Super Saiyan Goku who Dokkan awakens from the episode one Goku that you got to farm, kind of thing. You know, you get the medals from the episode
Yeah.
six stage, things like that. A little free to play Pansy, or you know, it doesn't matter. Like it just, I think that would be a really good tie-in to have like a story event that had a new stage every week.
Yeah, it's just the minimal acknowledgement of new waves of Dragon Ball with Dokkan is really, really just throwing a lot of us off, especially when you it wasn't the exact same time, of course, but when you consider that when Dokkan first came out, when Resurrection F content, like when the movie dropped, like Dokkan, the game circled around
Yeah.
Resurrection F for a while. Like it was, hey, Golden Freezes. Like look at all of these freezes you get
Yeah.
to awaken
Every Frieza in the
when
game
Dragon
gets to
Ball
awaken.
Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it literally that's exactly what they did though. People won't think you're serious, but that's what happened
Oh
back
no,
then.
these
And
were
then
weird days in Dokkan. If you're a
yeah,
player of Dokkan, there was a weird period.
go back and look, guys. Like, go search up Golden Frieza disambiguation on the wiki, and it's all those Friezas awakened at the same time. So
Yeah, it
then you
was
look at
nuts.
that, or you look at, like you just mentioned, UI Goku. He dropped as an SSR. He did not awaken, but he dropped. I think they did that once again. It's like they did that because they didn't want to show his TUR with the MUI animation. So I
Yeah, yeah.
understand why they hold certain things back. And say like Goku and Frieza. Goku and Frieza by far, bar none, I think had the best animations in the game, and they changed a lot of modern animations, and so now they stepped it up for sure. It was crazy how well they did Goku and Frieza. It was exciting. Then you look at I just think the Goku Black arc was a perfect example. Like when they were dropping stuff in the anime, it would come out on Dokkan real fast after.
Yeah,
Or some
okay.
things were
Yeah.
dropping a little bit sooner than you would have thought they would drop, at least the way I look at that timeline. But yeah,
Well, yeah,
I
I
mean,
reckon there should be
shoot.
like I said, a story event with an episode, with each episode bringing a new stage. You know what I mean? And then by the end of it, if it's a 20
Yeah.
episode run, there's 20 stages with a different thing to farm each week. You know, episode one is just a free to play SSR Goku. Episode six, you dock and awaken him into Super Saiyan, but there's little items and things in between. And I reckon that next week we should get, like, hypothetically speaking, we should get like a red zone event versus Tamagami 3. And then when he
That would
versus
be
the
hard.
second one, when he versus the second one in episode 14 or whatever it is, you get another red zone stage against Tamagami 2 or whatever he is. You know, he just do
Yeah,
that and
yeah,
then
yeah.
but then have a reward be the Demon Dragon Ball. You don't even know what
That would be
Shenron you're
fire.
summoning yet. Like in game, you're like, bro, I think they're gonna spoil it. No, they're not. You're just collecting the Dragon Ball. Goku collects the Dragon Ball, and then you get it. Like say, episode 20 is the last one. Just hypothetically speaking, still, you get that third Dragon Ball. You see it on screen. They summon the demon Shenron, and then in game you can summon Demon Shenron. You're just like, dude, like this is sick. Because if you don't, if you're not up to it, you're like, what's going on here? And then you're quickly encouraged to go watch the series.
Yes, yeah, man. So with that being said, nice little bonus moment right there between me and the homie, but we won't hold you guys. Just let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, comment your
Yeah,
thoughts on what things from you've seen.
everything the viewers can think
Yeah.
of that Dokkan should be doing. I want to know because usually speaking, I have the worst ideas. So I love to hear. I love reading other people's ideas and the better ones at that. So
That's
yeah,
not
let us
true,
know.
by the way. People, he is lying to you. He thinks out everything. He has more OCD than me, and I'm bad, bro. I overthink every little thing, especially with Dragon Ball. I will not hear that from him. But yeah, once again, like, sub, comment your thoughts. Let us know what you want from the future of Daima and the future of Dokkan. It is the Young King Hitman and the Mr. Greg Doll. We
Ciao, ciao.
are off this.